And here we go again. Another day of New England Patriots training camp practice is back, but in today's video, we got to see a little bit of joint practice with the Philadelphia Eagles as well. And today was a very intense practice. We saw the Eagles defensive front seven absolutely dominate some reps. We saw some wide receivers for the Patriots have some nasty routes and one-on-ones. And in this video, we're going to break down everything you need to know from yet another training camp practice for the Patriots, but also the Eagles as well. Before we jump into the video, I do want to give a massive shout out to all of the Eagles and the Patriots media members on X, because without them, these videos are not possible. So do me a favor and go follow them on X right now before you do anything else, because I guarantee you, you will not regret it. They'll keep you updated with pretty much every single practice going forward. So with that being said, let's kind of dive into the video and talk a little bit about what happened in today's practice. Now, the good news was Jonathan Jones and Marcus Jones were actually back at practice. They were in pads and they were participating in what seemed to be for the first 12 days Marcus Jones has been missed, or so. Yeah, so that's a really good thing to see there. We also got to see Hunter Henry, Marte Mapu, and Christian Barmore. They were all absent. Jonathan Jones, Marcus Jones back, like we said. Kendrick Bourne, Taki, and Cole Strange still on the PUP list. Now, the Eagles were going through a little bit of a walkthrough early on in practice against the scout team defense, including 7 players on the Patriots. Those guys were Christian Gonzalez, John Jones, Marcus Jones as your top 3 defensive backs. And then you also have, Jabril Pepper and Kyle Duggar. You had Jelani Tavai and Jawan Bentley in the defense as well. Now, for the offense for the Patriots in walkthrough, we saw Vidarian Lowe at left tackle. We saw Chukwuma Okorafor at right tackle. And that has been, 8 or 9 practices in a row where Vidarian Lowe has been your starting left tackle. Your starting wide receivers were actually KJ Osborne, Tyquan Thornton, and Demario Douglas. So again, take that as you may. Now, we did get to see some one-on-one drills early on in practice, some one-on-ones versus O-line and D-line. The Pats offensive line had a ton of trouble facing some of these defensive rushers and edges for the Eagles. They looked really good. The best reps were definitely from Vidarian Lowe, who had a really good one. Okorafor had one really bad loss, but also won one as well. Mike Onwenu held on to beat Jalen Carter late in a one-on-one rep. That was cool to see. Jalen Carter is a monster of a human being, but Mike eventually lost one later on in practice as well. We had a really bad period for Caden Wallace and Antonio Mafi. Those guys struggled quite a bit during these one-on-one drills, and then we got to some more 7-on-7s. Now, this included obviously quarterbacks, wide receivers, linebackers, DBs, right? So the first one for the Patriots offense, Drake May hit Javon Baker deep down the right sideline for a nasty completion against Avonte Maddox. Unbelievable catch, unbelievable throw. And Drake May, guys, get this. He was 6 of 6 in 7-on-7s, and he hit a different receiver on every single play. So big shout out to Drake May. Before we get any further into the video, because trust me, we still have a lot to break down, guys, do me a big favor, hit the like button, but more importantly, subscribe to the channel if you're new. It's free. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe, and we will be covering the Patriots, the Eagles throughout the rest of training camp, but not only that, throughout the entirety of preseason, breaking down film, for regular season as well. So join the family, and we're going to be streaming the Eagles-Patriots game live on my Twitch. If you want to watch that game with me, go follow the Twitch. Link will be in the description. Go check it out real quickly. And with that being said, let's kind of dive back into the video and talk a little bit more about today's practice. So the initial 11-on-11 period, we had Eagles starters versus Patriots starters. And there was Eagles offensively, by the way. So we got to see A.J. Brown. He had a comeback route versus Alex Austin. Really, really good route by A.J. Brown, and beautiful, right? We had another A.J. Brown drag route over the middle, catch or caught versus Alex Austin once again. We had back-to-back runs to the left for about 5 to 7 yard gains. Jalen Hurts checked down after an inside pressure from an interior defensive lineman, and then the main guys rotating in with the ones. We saw Jalen Hawkins, O'Shane Zimenez, Bledsoe, and Bolden also came in at some nickel at times as well. The Patriots defense had a couple of really good reps, but outside of that, the Eagles had the other really good reps. So it was kind of like broke down the middle. And then we saw, during 7-on-7s, May was initially 3 of 3, but then got what would have been a sack. Obviously, they don't bring him down to the floor, so he ended up throwing it anyway and getting a completion. So take that as you may. Jacoby Brissett had Austin Hooper for what would have been a back shoulder touchdown throw, but it popped out of his hands and fell. Actually intercepted by, I believe, Zach Bond was the linebacker who actually came in and got the interception, so not great for Austin Hooper. Could have been a nice little touchdown there for him, but doesn't get it there, but did eventually bounce back later with the touchdown on a crossing route over the middle. Did have that one from Brissett as well. Looks like the tight ends are going to get a ton of work within this offense throughout the majority of the season, and that's kind of what we've seen so far. We saw Josh Uche running with the starting defense today. We saw Raekwon McMillan doing really good in kick return or kick coverage, I guess you could say. Forced a fumble on one of them, which was good to see. We saw a really bad 11-on-11 portion for the Patriots. The Eagles defense was nasty. I believe they had 10 plus sacks. Pacheco sacked twice. He was 1 for 4. Also had an interception as well. Tyquan Thornton and KJ Osborne were clamped up. They could not find any space. And keep in mind, this Eagles defense is really good. Probably one of the best in football. They're younger than they were last year. They're more talented than they were last year. And they developed a ton as well. So, Eagles defense, we know they're going to be insane. Drake May had no opportunities in 2-minute drill because 3 sacks in a row, back to back to back, sack after sack after sack. I mean, it was pretty tough to see. The Eagles defense was definitely on the brighter side of today's practice. But overall, I felt like the Eagles made a lot of strides defensively, and then for the Patriots defensively, same thing, made a lot of strides. The Eagles are a much more advanced football team right now. They've had their quarterback for a while in Jalen Hurts. They've had their wide receivers developing there for a while. The Patriots are brand new. New coach, new wide receivers, new quarterbacks. I mean, everything's almost new offensively for the Patriots, so I kind of expected to see that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family again, follow the Twitch, and if you want to actually win some money, go check out Underdog Fantasy, guys. Link will be in the description. When you sign up and use my promo code, they're also going to give you a free square. Now, what that could be was a Drake May over half a yard, or Jacoby Brissett over half a yard for week 1, or Ramondre Stevenson over half a yard. Right? They're going to give you some really, really good opportunities there to win some money. So go check it out. Use my promo code. But with that being said, I'm going to let you guys watch a little bit more highlights here. Make sure you guys join the family, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next Patriots preseason or training camp update. Peace.